Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Behind the Closed Doors. And today we have the workshop Coaching and Motion with our model Lois. But first I have to record a video, and sometimes I get these questions in my mailbox where I actually go like, really, is this a question? Like last week I got from several people the question, hey Frank, if you shoot RAW, should you actually set a color temperature in your camera, yes or no? Today I'm going to record a video to answer that very simple question, and we're going to of course do that with examples. Now, one of the things is I want to make this as simple as possible, so what I'm going to use is actually some really pretty analog way of explaining it, namely some paper and a pen, because sometimes when you draw something out, it's just way easier to understand. Now, if you want to know what I said in the video, I'm going to link the link to the video below. It's going to be one in our digital classroom. So join us for today's episode of Behind the Closed Doors. Okay, done with recording the quick tip for digital classroom, and well, if you guessed, this is the JPEG, this is the RAW. So in other words, compressed versus non-compressed, and all the settings, well, I'm not going to tell you what we exactly filmed, but in all honesty guys, and you probably already know it, if you use RAW, you don't need to set your color temperature or whatever. You can create that afterwards because it's just the metadata. But you can see that in that episode of Digital Classroom. Okay, I'm going to get ready for the workshop now. We're going to do something with motion, and for me that's very important because that actually spices up the shot a lot. So you can make a more boring setting a little bit more interesting, but just making your model move around, just flick the hairs around, and it just creates something magical. For me, motion is one of the most important things in a photo shoot because it just livens up the shot a lot. And of course, coaching the model, because remember, a model doesn't see what you see through the camera lens. So you really have to tell your model to move around and to feel. You have to make her feel at ease, because that really makes the photo shoot a lot easier. So today we have a small group because we don't want to tire the model too much, because he has to be jumping around and making small movements. And if you have a group of 8 people, that will actually tire down your model a lot. So these workshops are actually smaller, like maximum 3 to 5 attendees. So let's go. Okay guys, that was the workshop, motion and coaching the model. Of course you want to see the results, right? So, here we go. By the way, you saw several setups. Now I want to explain two of the details that may or may have not gotten your attention during this video. Now, one of the shots we actually took with a so-called lens baby. It was the, I believe, 85mm, and you can really create a cool tilt and shift effect with it, and you saw that in the results before. The other one you may or may not noticed, that's actually delayed strobes. And that was the part where she was actually wearing a white wedding dress. Now we set it up that the first strobe shot at the first part of the exposure, and the second strobe was 2 seconds later. So what happens? She gets frozen here, and she gets frozen at the end. And in between she turns around, and we turned all the studio lighting down and only used the modeling lights. And in the ELCs, those are very, very bright. So you get this really cool effect of model on one side, model on the other side. So it's a little bit of delayed strobes. Okay guys, that was it for today. If you like what we do, subscribe to our channel, leave comments below, and of course smash that like button because we really like that. Tomorrow, the workshop Small Flash, and of course another behind the closed doors. See you again tomorrow. Bye bye guys.